And welcome back, folks, to another episode of the Rob Mullins Planet Mullins podcast. We're in season 7, and I can't believe it's been 5 years since I had this incredible vocalist on my program, but it's been 5 years. And today we're going to catch up with Aubrey Johnson and see what has happened in these years and talk about her new album. So everybody say hi to Aubrey Johnson.
Hi there. So glad to be back.
Da, 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 da. You know, I put on the album, and as I said when we were talking before, I've been so busy I didn't have time to listen to it. And then today, I put it on, and the craziest thing happened. I hit the first song, and about 30 seconds in, I was like, "She's been listening to Joni Mitchell."
That is true.
And then I get to the third tune, and you covered a Joni Mitchell tune.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just amazing. I mean, have you always been a fan of her music and writing? Because, you know, that's covering Joni's music and doing it. I won't say, I don't want to make anybody mad, but so much better than she does it herself or whatever.
Oh, wow.
In such a different way. I mean, Help Me is not that easy of a song to sing, right?
Yeah, no, it's not. It definitely took some work. It's not the melody is not as intuitive as it first sounds. But I've been listening to Joni since I started college. I had my moment with Blue, or ongoing moment with Blue.
We all have our ongoing moments.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, I think I saw the lyrics somewhere, and I was like, "What is this? I have to know what this is." I saw the lyric first, and then I listened to this to the song "The Case of You," and then I was hooked forever. Have all of her CDs.
Wow.
Still here in my CD collection, and I've always felt a strong connection to Joni, and so it made sense to sing her music. Also, like her earlier stuff lies in a similar vocal range to mine, so
wow.
It works really well naturally.
Well, except you've got 3 octaves above her if you want them. I mean,
totally unnecessary.
No, I still can't get my head around how you do what you do vocally. I cannot get my head around it because, you know, we were both just at the Grammys, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as usual, every Grammy year, we make it a point not to hang out together.
I didn't even know you were there.
I know. I didn't know you were there until I saw it on your Facebook like 3 days later. But you know, you meet a lot of singers, there's a lot of parties, there's a lot of pop stars, there's a lot of 4-bar loops, there's a lot of auto-tune, and all these things are really, to me, kind of the antithesis of jazz. But then I listen to something like your music, and you go for one of these high notes. Like, first off, it comes out of some nutty scale. It might be a Dorian or some sort of a diminished number 2 thing that you're going, and then you get to the high note and just hanging on the note, and the band's like do-do-do-do-do-do-do, and you don't run out of gas, and then you go boom up another whole step, and it's like shit. And then it'll come down off at minor 11 chord that doesn't last very long to another to an A sus. I mean, my goodness, it's just, I don't know, man. I think you're one of a kind with this vocal talent in your range. I've never heard anyone like you. That's pretty cool.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I just have always loved working on my voice from the time I started singing when I was like 5 or 6.
Uh-huh.
And I got pretty intensely focused on it when I was in middle school. And I recorded myself singing every day and analyzed it and worked on it.
Wow. How many people though will really work at it as hard as you've worked at it all these years and probably take joy in working on it? Like, I was doing the same thing when I was a kid.
Right.
I was put on the Miles Davis album with Woody and You on there, and then I couldn't process it because it was too fast, but I could slow my record player down from 33 to 16.
Smart.
And it basically brings Miles down an octave.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then I would play along, and then I would record that, and then I would listen back. But I don't know that self-evaluation is that much a part of a lot of performers' worlds outside of jazz. Is it kind of just more jazz only, or what?
That's a good question. I guess I don't have a ton of experience outside of that, but I know, like, I think a lot of singers record themselves, actually. I think that maybe that's even more common among singers. Um, but it's the best way to get better. I think a lot of people got a lot better during COVID because they were recording themselves more often. And I know my
Right.
singers got better because of that I work with, my students. Um,
Okay.
but, but yeah, beyond the recording, I also did some opera training in my undergrad. I had to be an opera voice major for 2 years before I could be an official jazz major. So
Oh, was
that
that?
really
Yeah.
helped. It helped so much. It was at Western Michigan University, and I had to
Okay.
sing, art songs and arias in 5 languages and learn
Five
international
languages.
phonetic alphabet. Yeah. Um, some of which I don't sing in very often anymore, like German and French. But
Nothing.
that helped
Nothing
me
sounds
so
good. There.
much.
There are no vocals that sound good in German. I'm so sorry.
Well,
German always sounds like somebody's being decapitated and then they're like, boiling potatoes. I don't like the sound of German language. I love the music that
fair.
comes from there, but well, did you find you were leaning after the opera stuff more towards the Brazilian thing, like because of your influences or what?
Well, the Brazilian thing happened in high school, and I have to credit one person for it, my high school voice and piano teacher, Christine Salerno in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Okay.
She's incredible musician and composer, and also really into Brazilian music and sings in Portuguese. So I remember being 15 and her handing me a Portuguese dictionary and
No
saying,
way.
"For next week, I need you to translate How Insensitive." Like
Oh yeah.
write down the translation and practice
Joe
singing the
Beamton.
lyrics.
Yeah.
Right. And I was like, okay, like that's Portuguese, you know. But I just did whatever she told me to do, and so when I got to college, I was already good at singing in Portuguese, and then
Okay.
they had us do it more, as part of the jazz program,
Hmm.
and so it just became, for me, like a little side project to get really good at singing in Portuguese. I just did a Brazilian brunch gig yesterday where I did like 3 sets in Portuguese with a 7-string guitar player from Brazil. And I
Oh
don't do
my
that very often, but when
God.
I can, I love it. It's so fun. So,
How do you keep your voice, going for 3 sets? That's probably close to 3 hours, and there's no one but the guitar player.
yeah, you get little breaks too, like maybe 10 or 15-minute breaks. But,
Okay.
singing on a microphone helps a lot. The
Oh,
microphone does
right.
a lot of work for you. And you just gain endurance over time by singing and talking a lot. Teaching for many hours in a row helps with that too, honestly, I have to say.
Really?
'Cause,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I'm just singing and playing piano the whole time and talking. And, I do that several days a week for 4 or 5 or 6 hours. And yeah, you get in shape, I think.
Well, going back to like these runs that you do and the way that you write your music, do you work out? Like, will you be? I guess you don't drive out in NYC, but I'll be driving down the freeway, and then all of a sudden this line will come to me, and I'll have to record it as a voice memo or leave myself a voicemail, and then I come back later and we'll work it out on the piano. But I know you composed and you arranged and all that, and you have piano skills. Do you oftentimes just find something on the piano that's a really cool line and you go, oh, I think I'll learn to sing that, or how does that work?
Yeah, that definitely happens. The piano is very much a part of everything I do as a singer. I think I often am just improvising around my apartment.
Okay.
I'm lucky that I have neighbors on like 3 sides of me that don't mind. so
Wow.
so I kind of just I let it go and sing, within reasonable hours. But I improvise a lot, so that's often how I find stuff. And then for me, composition, I don't know if it's a mental block, but it doesn't happen as freely. Like I kind of need to sit down and decide to write in order to have things come to me in a way that you're talking
Okay.
about.
Okay.
But I do that, and when I do sit down and make a really intentional effort to write, I start by improvising on the piano and singing. Usually it's
Oh,
both at the same time, and then
okay.
I'll just grab onto a little piece of something that sounds good, something worth pursuing, and then
Right.
start trying to feel like what comes next, what other things can be generated from this material, melodic or harmonic or lyric. So,
I love that process because it's very similar to mine. And then you're dealing with a lot of college age students these days since you're now becoming a well respected and renowned teacher, what do you do with the students that come in that just have that blank stare in their eyes and they say, well, I didn't really write anything this week because I don't know. And then you've got an hour with that person, right?
Right.
I mean, how do you, this is kind of shop talk for teachers. So teachers, listen up because I'm interested to see how you deal with that because I have to deal with that all the time.
Yeah, well, I'm lucky that I teach mostly through institutions. I teach at the New School in Montclair State University,
Okay.
and I have a few students that come here to my apartment. Those ones are very motivated because they're just deciding to, study voice on their own,
Right.
and they're in their mid to late 20s. But yeah, I've formulated a system with teaching where I make it extremely clear what their assignment is.
Okay.
Every week we have like a shared Google Doc. And
Okay.
I write the assignment down, and I write the date and like a to-do list, and I have check boxes and we share the doc, and they have to check on it. So I hold them accountable, and it's worked so well. I would say I almost never have someone come in and say, I just didn't do anything, because I also tell them I'm grading you on each lesson. And of course, like a couple of the lessons, if you're not totally ready, I'll throw out those 2 grades or whatever. But
Okay.
yeah, it works so well. And so I find they're accountable, and they come in with stuff they've worked on, and obviously sometimes they haven't, and in that case, like, we can work on technique, we can talk about like what to listen to, pick new songs we can learn a song together in the lesson.
Right.
So yeah, I've been teaching at the collegiate level for 15 years now, so
Okay.
I think I've seen it all. I maybe not, but but I am lucky to have really great students.
Well, and the schools that you teach at are very prestigious and internationally known. So if I was
That's true.
going, and I can't sing at all, and people have always said that I ought to be one, and then I tell them, trust me, you don't want to hear me try to do anything. Vocal talent does not run in my family, but let's say we're going to take a page out of 4th week vocal lesson at Berklee School of Music. Like, what would you be having people work on?
Well, at Berklee, which I taught at, I left there in 2022.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, there's like juries, and at the end of the semester we call them proficiencies, and that really helps structure the lesson in a way, because they have like a technical requirement, like an exercise, like a little song that they have to do.
Okay.
Which actually they commissioned to me to write some of these exercises, these short like 1-page songs with different levels of difficulty. So I wrote those, and I would have the students sing the ones I wrote, and
Wow.
they have to do like an art song, kind of like I had to do, but only have to do one instead of, and I try to make them sing in Italian so they can get like the vowels and stuff down. It's a good vehicle for working on technique.
Unbelievable.
And then always make sure that they do something they're really into, because at Berklee they can study any style. They don't specialize in a style at Berklee.
Okay.
So always make sure they're like exploring what they're really excited about. So that makes the lesson fly by. There's like a ton of stuff to do. But yeah, the 4th week we'll probably have all the songs picked, and we're touching on each one of them. And
Wow.
some
So
technical
so
stuff.
now obviously the stimulated creative educator side of me wants to know, how do I get my hands on those exercises?
Well, you have to be a voice major at Berklee.
Yeah.
Berklee owns them, so.
Oh, okay. So you did it as a work for hire?
I did, but I'm thinking of writing some more because
I would love it if you would, because it might change the vocal landscape for like eventually millions of people, because the state of vocals and recorded vocals out there in the world, and sadly the Grammys bear testament to this, there's not that much going on, man.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, for example, now Bruno Mars is somebody I really like, but I wouldn't say that Bruno Mars's vocal stuff is like in your league or in your area or anything. And to me, it sounds like Earth, Wind, and Fire redone by a young guy, which I think is great.
I mean, I think Bruno Mars is an incredible singer.
Well,
I could never sing like him.
Well, but maybe I'll just take somebody more like a Sabrina Carpenter that just sounds very auto-tuned, and the music to me is really boring. I don't think that, like, when I hear somebody like that sing, and I don't know her background, but could she take 4 years of vocals at Berklee and then end up singing what she's singing out there without even ever taking a stab at an improv run? That's what I
That's
wonder.
something I haven't really thought about, but I do think she's a good singer, and I like what she does. I think that there's probably a lot of people telling her what she has to do, obviously,
Oh,
and
yeah.
and she's riding that wave. But I think she's a really good singer. I think she's cool.
Okay.
I think like what the stuff we're good at in jazz is very different than what people focus on in different genres, especially singing. And like when I have to sing pop and R&B, it's a totally different animal,
Okay.
And they're just the shapes of the melodies and like the lengths of the phrases, like it's all so different, and I find it quite difficult to do really well, surprisingly. If so, it's technical elements are different across genres, and I think if you're really good at one thing, it doesn't mean you're good at another.
Wow,
So,
that's very
yeah,
true. Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
a lot of respect for those pop and R&B singers that can really sing like that. It's a different thing. Yeah.
Well, many years ago when I was learning to play the music of the band, the Jazz Crusaders, we had those exact kind of talks because I'd say, okay, where's the chart to scratch? And they would say, it's a F7. Oh,
Right.
okay, cool, man. Now, and then, do something like this. And I got corrected a lot because that music is really totally about the feel.
Right.
You're not doing a lot of hip voicings, and if you start playing a bunch of extra chords, nobody digs that. And you've got to learn all the ideas of pattern recognition for R&B, because R&B is a lot, and pop too, it's a lot more just pattern oriented. So that's why it's so refreshing for you to come out and be all joyful and happy and doing all this crazy stuff, man. Come on. What the heck? What are you doing, man? What's going on over there? That's nutty.
I don't know.
Never heard anything like it.
I've always liked to do crazy stuff with my voice. I think like I started classical piano when I was 7.
Okay.
And I progressed pretty quickly and was doing like, Bach 2-part inventions and then preludes and fugues and some Chopin, and I just always challenged myself to sing along with like the right hand that I was playing.
Oh, wow.
And,
That's a big deal, man.
And it was just an idea, an instinct I had from a young age. I don't know why. Maybe because I was listening to my uncle Lyle Mays' music around the house, and there's singers on that music singing wordless vocal stuff. So for me, from the time I could hear music and pay attention to it, I was hearing singers sing without lyrics, sing instrumental lines. So I was like, why wouldn't you do that? I didn't understand why people didn't do that,
Well, I think you're, in a unique, really unique situation, and it obviously shows in how your harmonic sense is just so amazing. I mean, do you do stuff when you're writing, like hold out one note? Because this is what I do as a pianist a lot of times. I'll have a note that's at the end of a phrase or a key note in the melody, and then I will just hold that note down. And it's easier to do on a synth or a Rhodes because it sustains longer, but then start moving everything around under it to all these places. Do you do that?
I love doing that. I absolutely do that. Yeah.
Yes.
I like finding different directions for the music to go. I like to modulate a lot, find different tonal centers, and
Yeah, I don't know how you do that. That's I was watching, I think, something from the the conference that happened.
Gen conference, yeah.
Yeah, in January. And for those who don't know, it's like the last remaining jazz educator conference now that the other iconic one that I used to do every year, I can't remember even the name of it now. I did it for IAJE. I did that for years. But you'll be singing along in this thing, and then you get going, and you start getting up in that higher thing, and then you'll hold the note, and then blam, you come down in a different key, and everybody goes nuts. And then you have this one little move that you do with your left arm when you're going to go past Mariah Carey's level. It's like here comes the left arm up. She's going higher than Mariah Carey, and then you just hang out at there. I mean, I don't know anybody that can do that. I don't think some of these tunes of yours are going to catch on in the pop world because nobody could be able to do them.
Oh, well. I mean, first of all, just to be accurate, Mariah Carey can sing a lot higher than I can.
She can?
But she can, yes.
I don't know, man.
Like at least an octave higher, yeah. But she's
really
crazy. She's got whistle tones, for days.
Is that what it's
But
called? The whistle tones?
yeah, like when you flip up into a different register where it just sounds really light and easy. I don't really have that. I sing in the whistle range, but like a little more full, like head voice still, and so I can't really stretch past a certain point. But it's pretty high still. Yeah.
It's way up there, and I mean, and she's only doing pentatonic scales, and you'll come down on like a Whittian flat, whatever. I mean, I was watching that video, and I could hear this black guy in the background when she got really into it. He was like losing his mind over how good it was.
Oh.
You
Well,
know?
that's really nice. Yeah, sometimes in the moment I get inspired and
Well, the band is
something else overtakes me. Let's go for it.
really, really cool. Now you've got kind of the same band as the Unraveled album, which is now that was 5 years ago.
Yeah, that's right.
Unbelievable. Is
Yeah.
it the same players? I know it's the same instrumentation with the woodwind and the violin, right?
Yes, it's different players, half different, half the same. So the people that were on Unraveled is Matt Aronoff, the bass player, and Tomoko Omura, the violinist.
Okay.
They've been with me since the beginning of my band in New York. And then the woodwind player, Michael Sachs, the original one, he moved to LA. So
Okay.
Michael's the best, but he moved away. So Alex Lowray is my good friend from New England Conservatory, and he's just
Oh,
incredible. And he's an amazing composer and like a really well-known alto player. And so
oh,
he like brushed off his bass clarinet and flute chops a little more for my band, and now he sounds amazing on both of those instruments. And then Chris McCarthy is the pianist. The original pianist, Chris, also named Chris Ziemba, joined the Airmen of Note, the Air Force band. He lives in
oh,
DC
okay.
now.
Okay.
So Chris is incredible. The new Chris, well, they both are, but Chris McCarthy, he went to New England Conservatory as well, but
Okay.
after me. And so he came to New York and we connected over the pandemic, and he can really just play anything, any style, and he's an incredible reader and just so sensitive and musical. So he's a perfect addition to the band. And then the original drummer in the band, Jeremy Noller, actually passed away 3 years ago.
Oh, wow.
He was 39 and he got cancer and was really, really sad. And actually, I dedicated the album to him, to his memory, because he contributed so much to me as a musician. And so replacing him is
Wow.
Jay Sawyer, that I went to undergrad with at Western Michigan. Actually, been friends forever, and he's incredible as well. So sensitive and does a great job orchestrating the music. So
It's so the orchestration and the instrumentation is so refreshing. And anytime I see like bass clarinet or somebody that's doubling on woodwinds in the credits before I listen to the album, I just am always going, please don't sound like Kenny G. Just please, just don't have, because I think Steve Wilson might be my favorite saxophone player, and his tone is this warm, big, beautiful thing,
yeah,
and the thin, shrill kind of other tone that became so popular. I just wish that could be stamped out, just because I don't like it. It actually bothers my hearing, So then to hear your guy playing bass clarinet and doing it so tasty, and then when he plays the alto, it doesn't sound like anyone else, really.
yeah. He's a
He
very
does,
unique player. I
he
love
doesn't
his
sound
sound.
like anybody. He just sounds like him, I think.
Yeah. Oh, he would like to hear that. I'll tell him.
All right, well, you tell him
Yeah.
Rob Mullen said, keep on being cool, brother, man. So, so are you going to tour this album? What do you got planned?
We have mostly New York shows planned.
Okay.
We're playing at Birdland on March 22nd for the
Okay.
album release. We're
Cool.
excited about that. And not sure if this is happening yet, but we might be opening for Snarky Puppy in April at the Vogel in Red Bank, New Jersey. So we're fingers crossed that's going to be happening. And
That'd
then
be
there's
cool.
a couple other New York venues. And then we did a tour on the West Coast in 2024, supported by a grant from South Arts. they're a great organization. It's so hard to tour an ensemble of 6 people. Very, very hard.
That's got to be very challenging. And then moving those instruments around safely.
Yeah, and then they're like getting a bass, just and someone lending you a bass on the road. It's a little tough, but yeah. So I'm considering booking another tour out on the West Coast. We did like Bay Area and LA and Seattle last time, so I think maybe August or September, looking at doing something out there, but that's not booked yet. So if you know of anyone that wants to host us, let us know.
Are you your own booking agent?
I have a couple people that are helping me a little bit that have booked some things for me, but yeah, I'm mostly doing my own thing.
Is Ted Curlin still alive?
Yeah.
Call him, man.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm big enough for Ted Curlin, but I had an internship. I did an internship there when I was in grad school in Boston.
Oh, that's
So
why you don't. That's why you don't ever want to see him again. Okay.
No.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No.
Just
Wonderful
kidding.
person. Actually, Ted managed Lyle for his whole career. Lyle
Yeah.
and the Metheny Group.
Well, that
still
was
working
why
with
I
that.
mentioned it. Yeah.
I figured. Yeah. Yeah. No, they did wonderful things for Lyle. So love those guys.
Okay, let's talk about specific tunes on the album here. So,
Okay.
since you gave me a pronunciation class
Mm-hmm.
on this one, Lyle's tune "Show Reen You" is the
Is that Shireen?
5th track on Aubrey's new album, and I've always loved this tune of Lyle's because it is really what I would call modern Brazilian classical music.
Mm-hmm.
Because it has these Bachian kind of bass lines that move a certain way, and then the melody line is moving around, and then Lyle, of course, being such a harmonic wizard, he'll slide in that one bass note that's a half step off, and then boom, you're in another universe.
Uh-huh.
But it's all going by so fast. It's like, how do you keep up with that? So I bet that was a hard one to learn. I mean, how long did it take you to learn to sing that? And how many keys is it in? Like 30?
I did analyze the harmony at some point, but I can't tell you the number of keys it's in, but it's a lot.
That's a lot.
Sorry, excuse me. 1 second. Okay, I learned the piece in 2009.
Oh, wow.
Or 2010, actually, when I sang with Lyle at the Gilmore Keyboard Festival in Kalamazoo, Michigan. And he asked me to learn the piece, and I said something which I don't usually say because I try to sing everything. I said, "This is not possible to sing."
Yeah.
And he said, "Well, I just did a residency at North Texas, and Rosanna Eckert sang the piece."
Uh-oh.
And I was like, what?
What?
Okay, well.
Oh, the pressure from the uncle.
Challenge accepted.
Challenge.
And Rosanna sang with me. We sang together on Aberhard, Lyle's final recording.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
That was, a decade later, and she's become a good friend and mentor. But yeah, she's always inspiring to me. So I found out she had sung it, and I was like, all right, well, if someone else did it, then I better do it. So I learned the whole thing and performed it, but it took 3 weeks of practicing it every single day. And I wouldn't say like most songs take 3 weeks to learn. And I don't feel like I really knew it then. Like I could do it while doubled with a saxophone well, and like kind of sound good, but like I feel like some parts I was faking it a bit. And then I over the years would kind of just bring it back like as a technical exercise. And then last year I did a competition in Savannah, Georgia called the American Vocal Traditions Competition.
Wow.
And it's like the point of the competition is that it highlights singers that sing in a bunch of different genres.
Nice.
So classical and jazz and R&B and all this stuff, all by American composers, and you decide your own program. So I thought, well, no one else is going to sing this song. It's almost not singable, so I'm going to program this insane piece.
No way.
So then I really worked it up like to competition level, whatever that is, last year in January. And I competed live. I didn't end up getting to the last round, which is where that would have been. But
nice.
That inspired me to record it. I was like, you know what? There's no vocal recording of this.
Oh.
Yeah, because no one really sings it. So, it's my uncle, and I love to honor his memory when I can. So I decided to learn it.
It's incredible.
Challenge my band to learn it as well.
Well, I mean, obviously, like, as a pianist, I listen to that, and it's not technically that difficult at the piano, because, on a piano, you can just jump those octaves or do whatever and move your hands. It's not like having to, bring in the air and then come out with those intervals. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, the range I think is 3 octaves.
Okay.
No. Yeah, it's 3 octaves plus a minor third. No, major third. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Are you sitting at a piano
I am sitting
keyboard?
at a piano. Yeah, I was just like a low C down here, which I can't really sing, and then all the way up to this high E. So some of like the low notes are kind of ghosted, but yeah, I can sing all of it now.
Well, I had no idea you were at a piano keyboard, so now I'm going to put you on the spot.
Oh no, don't. It really needs to be tuned. It's very out of tune.
Oh, but you have a real piano.
Yeah.
See, I think that's very important for people, man. And it just has such a different kind of impact, at least on me. I don't like playing on digitals. I like playing on great acoustic pianos, and I'll pick an out of tune, upright, within reason over a pristine digital piano. But I was just going to say, play me, if you don't mind me asking, can you play me 3 of your favorite chords?
3. Well, yeah, I might play them in an upper register since
Wherever you want.
the lower register is kind of out of tune.
Okay.
I mean, probably like a major 7 sharp 11 chord, something like that.
Yeah, I dig that. Okay.
Yeah, and let's
Okay,
see.
two more and you're off the hook.
Definitely a minor 11 chord. I would be, like you pointed out, I like a lot of minor 11 chords
Lovely.
in my music. Yeah.
Okay.
This is funny.
Now,
And I mean, let's see. Maybe I'll pick a minor major 7 chord.
Oh.
I like minor major 7. And apologies for the out of tune nature of this piano.
no, the piano is not bad, but it's interesting that you picked that one because when I was a little kid, that was the chord of the mystery that was going to happen in the TV shows. Mm-hmm. And then eventually it became kind of a campy, like 60s, 70s thing, Dick Tracy and all these other things. Then eventually it became what we call the James Bond chord. Mm-hmm. In LA, we call that the James Bond chord.
Okay, that
right?
makes sense.
But if you were going to play the James Bond chord and put it in one of your songs, which I've never heard you do before.
No, yeah, I don't think my songs have any minor major 7 chords. But
Oh, okay. Well, folks, if you want
I
to
still
hear,
like the chord.
if you want to hear Aubrey put the James Bond chord in one of her songs, you have to donate to where? Who are we donating to? The International Vocal James Bond Competitive Wisconsin Foundation.
Yes, that definitely exists.
I donate to them every year,
Well, we appreciate it.
as I'm she picks right up on that one. I want to go to a couple of the other tunes now. Your version of "Help Me," the Joni Mitchell tune. That's not an easy song to sing, and what I'm curious about, because obviously it's hard to sing, but how did you come up with the arrangement for that with the violin and the bass clarinet and stuff? Do you just sing a note and then you go, okay, you over there play a D and trill to an E, and then or did you and Billy like chart everything out very perfectly and just hand out the music, or what?
It's the latter. Like I read everything out in Sibelius and create parts for everybody, and I did a little work with Billy Childs for this album. We got a grant through Chamber Music America.
Nice.
He when he was in New York a couple times, he came and worked with my band, and I think one of the biggest impacts he made was on the drums. Because I have to say, like, I'm not as good at orchestrating with the drums, knowing what to ask for, how to think about it. My uncle Lyle was very, very good at that. He would make like perfect demos of drum parts that expressed exactly what he wanted. But it's not something that I'm as good at or haven't spent as much time on. So Billy really worked with Jay, with the drummer, and the way he conceptualized everything, and it helped him. Like he did a lot. Jay did all the work really, figuring out how to basically make more space for the voice within the
I
music.
noticed. Yeah, that's what I noticed.
Yeah, and just he said at some point he was like, I realized I've been thinking about this all wrong. This is a chamber ensemble. You know,
Right.
it's less of like me playing, you know, like drums in a traditional way. But interestingly, on the Joni tune, he is playing drums in a more traditional way. Like when the arrangement, as you heard, is more spacious at first, and like, you know. But then when we go into, I think, the second verse, I basically said like, I want you to like play like a rock folk/rock drummer there, and like,
Right.
I love the groove on the record is perfect, her record, and so just play it like that.
Okay.
So yeah, we, you know, added some of my own ideas, but then also like really, you know, stayed true to the original arrangement. But you asked about those lines that are played at the beginning. I think that's what you're asking about.
Yeah.
When I was checking out that song, I noticed at the end there's like this long vamp at the end, and there's a guitar playing like some harmonics. And,
Right.
And I was like, they're just like, as it's fading out, like you almost don't hear it. And I was like, those lines are amazing. What is that?
They're amazing. Yeah.
And so I decided I transcribed them, and I was like, what if I use the lines as like, you know, an intro for the song?
Wow.
And having like them passed back and forth between bass clarinet and violin, and the piano doubling it. And then like, you don't really know how it's going to fit in. Because I think they're 3-bar phrases, and then the band comes in and turns into 4-bar phrases, and then some of my own material that I thought of based on that stuff, bringing that in, and then they phase out, and then it's just piano and there's just rhythm section, and then I come in with a little more like spacious take on the whole thing. I just basically what I did was I just added one measure.
Okay.
Like instead of like help me, I think I'm falling. It's just help me, I think I'm falling in love again, with just less rhythm underneath it. And you know, when people have heard it, they're like, wow, that's such an interesting take. And I'm like, I added a bar, but you know what? Sometimes little things like that go a long way. Simple ideas go a long way. So that was some of the ideas, and then at the end, those lines come back in. And then there's a vamp on like D major and F major, and then Chris, the piano player, I had him like play a piano cadenza interlude leading into the next song, which is my original "Don't Be Afraid."
Right. So, yeah, I noticed that thing between the two major seventh chords there.
Yeah,
and
it's just what's in the song, you know.
I can't believe I got Aubrey Johnson to play her out-of-tune piano for me.
And please apologize to you. I need to get this. I need to call my piano tuner. He's great.
Cool.
But this is Lyle's piano that I have in front of me.
No.
Yeah, it's
You're
a Yamaha
joking me.
C3, yeah.
Wow. Could you would it be too much to ask you to turn the camera around and show me Lyle's piano?
Yeah.
Wow, man. You have Lyle's piano in New York at your place.
I do.
Oh my God.
There's all my stuff on it. But
my gosh. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So
now you have to tune it now that you showed everybody.
I know. And it usually is in tune. It's like the winter in New York. It like
the
knocks
weather.
out of tune really. Got this radiator here that I can't control, as everyone in New York knows how that works. So.
Right. Well, the weather is such a bad thing for everybody. I mean, I have had like students in Malibu and lived in Venice for like a million years, and pianos do not stay in tune by the beach either. Mm-hmm. They're forget it. It's like because you get the humidity is insane, and then in Colorado there is no humidity, which is weird. So everybody's got to buy humidifiers. But okay, folks, we're gonna do another GoFundMe for Aubrey Johnson's piano tuner. I mean, because you can let it get out to a certain point, and then finally just like, okay, I got to do it. You know. It
has been to that point for a while. It's unacceptable. So I'm sorry to your listeners, but we'll get back there.
It's cool, man. I had no idea. Now, how do you get a grand piano moved into a New York apartment? Because I've seen them do it with cranes through the window on a top floor where they cut out part of the window and then they crane it up there like on Seinfeld and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, they take the legs off, and they wrap it up and they just bring it up the stairs. And
it came up the stairs.
Yeah, I'm only on the second floor, so.
Oh,
yeah.
you're only on the second floor.
Yeah, so it was okay, and it came from a loft in Union Square that had like a freight elevator, so the movers got lucky, I think.
Oh, okay.
But
All right, now I'm going to go, since you're letting me get by with so much stuff we're not prepared to do. I want to know top 5 CDs in the CD case.
ooh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let's see.
And folks, CDs are still the best way to listen to music.
Yeah.
Because when the great apocalypse and dystopian future is here, and there is no more streaming internet, that's when you're going to want to have your CDs and your solar-powered CD player, which I haven't really had a chance to look into that yet, but I'm going to see if I can find one. And my CD collection is not very much anymore, but I have it on computer hard drives, like all of my own albums.
Uh-huh.
Many of my favorite albums, too, that I just said, I am not going to trust politicians or, world leaders or corporations with when I'm allowed to hear my favorite music. I want to hear it when I want to hear it, man. You know.
Right. Okay.
That's it.
I'm going to pick one more.
Okay.
This one. This is, I don't do this enough. Okay, so I did this really quickly.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to start with Joni.
Okay.
Kira.
Okay. Yep.
This more like jazz-oriented one. Jaco Pastorius is on that one.
Well, before you go away from the Joni one,
okay,
wasn't Lyle and Jaco, weren't they live with Joni for a while?
Yes, on the Shadows and Light tour.
Shadows and Light tour, and that's where Jaco just completely went off the rails. I remember that.
On that tour? Is that okay? I didn't know that.
Yeah, because there's a video of him where it gets to his bass solo and he does like 11 minutes, Joni was very tolerant of Jaco. I mean, I'm from their generation, so I can speak about it. But, I love that music because she was bringing the jazz guys in.
Yeah, and imagine me as
it's
a college
amazing.
student. I discovered Joni Mitchell, and then one of my classmates told me, your uncle played with Joni Mitchell, right? And then they showed
He never told you
DVD.
that?
Well, we hadn't talked about it yet. It was like we were just
Oh
just
God.
becoming friends,
Wow.
So that was So Joni, and then Bobby McFerrin, Vocabularies. This is the all vocal album.
Is it just him?
No, it's 50 different singers, and it's
What?
arrangements by
I've never
Roger
heard of
Shreese.
this album.
This is an incredible
Vocabulary?
album, and I feel a little silly picking it because I am singing a little bit on 2 of the tracks.
Okay.
Like I'm on the album, but I didn't pick it for that reason. It really is one of my favorite albums, and it's incredible. So everyone should listen to it.
Wow.
And then this is a. Do you know the band Lake Street Dive?
No. I guess I'm going to learn about them right now. We're learning.
They went to NEC as a band. I mean, they met at NEC, and then they're very famous now. They've played Madison Square Garden, I think. Maybe
That's a big deal.
Theater. Yeah. They've played. I don't know their whole bio, but they were nominated for a Grammy in the Best Traditional Pop category like 2 years ago, I think. They're incredible songwriters. Rachel Price is the lead singer. She's insane. This is one of their albums that is not available on streaming that I have because I was in Boston when they were coming up and went to their shows, and this is their second album, Promises. So that's a great one.
Okay.
And then we have I had to pick a Pat Metheny Group one since that's my family history.
Right.
And they're the best. So this is The Way Up, their final album.
Yes.
That came out in 2005, and it's just like 3 movements of this crazy long piece, and it's
amazing.
It's my uncle's masterpiece. Uncle and Pat wrote it together.
That's a masterpiece. I always like Lyle's. I can pick out Lyle's parts, and I always like them better than Pat's, but I'm not going to say that. Oh, sorry, I already said that.
Well, they made what they made together. They needed each other to make that masterpiece. So
what a project, Kate. And then we're going to probably have to wrap up because you got a student coming over.
I do. That's okay.
I can't see that one. Hold it up closer.
This is The Audience with Betty Carter.
Oh.
It's a double live album.
Wow.
1973, I think.
Okay.
And I guess it was re-released in 1980. But yeah, it's yeah. But yeah, it's a double disc, and people say this is like her best album. And she like the first track I think is 25 minutes long, and she
What?
yeah, this is incredible. I love this. Is like when I heard this album, this changed everything for me in terms of understanding small group arranging and just being adventurous as a singer, making sounds that weren't beautiful, but like were exciting and fun and crazy and
Right.
truly improvisatory. So that'd be number 5, and that's just randomly picking them up there. But,
It's incredible, man. Well, I'm actually bummed that we're out of time because it sure went by in a hurry, and I want to let you know that I'm a huge fan of yours, and I'm always happy to help promote whatever you're doing. And I'm also a huge fan of people doing joyful, amazing stuff and sharing it with the world, because there's a lot of punishment for people like you and me. And there really is. I mean, there's so much hate for people that are doing cool stuff. I mean, LA Times saw me, and in the review it said I smiled too much to be any good at jazz. I mean, something like that. I was like, come on, man.
That's just.
But it was really, I mean, I found myself, when I was listening to your album, I was getting tearful. I was really emotionally touched, and then I felt like transcendental joy of the heavens a couple of times. It's really great, man. I'm so proud of you. It's really good.
Thank you. I mean, that means so much to me. Thank you for listening to it, and like, I'm so glad it touched you like that. That's really why I put out music, So
yeah, well,
you
definitely got a fan here, and I'll do like I always do, anything I can do to help you out spreading the word about your music, because it is the best in the world, folks. So Aubrey Johnson has been my guest today, vocalist living in New York.
That's right.
Niece of Lyle Mays, the great pianist composer from the Metheny Group. And sorry we're out of time, but thanks for listening. I'll see you soon, Aubrey.
Right. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, y'all take care. Talk to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.